So as most of you probably know, Bill Burr and a bunch of comedians did this Riyadh Comedy Festival. It just went down, I think, over the past weekend. And yeah, I don't think a lot of people are surprised that a lot of people have sold out to the Saudi Arabian government for a bag, right? Like they sold their soul for a bag. But a lot of people are surprised that Bill Burr did, because Bill Burr has always seemed to be a principled person. Throughout the time that he's been online, and he's been like kind of a figure of reason, especially listening to his Monday morning podcast where he would talk about sports and a lot of social issues. He seems like he had his head screwed on right. So it was very surprising to see him in particular doing this, because as we know, the Saudi Arabian government is not so good. It does. There's a lot of things that obviously the United States government does, but unfortunately we were born here. This is something that we have to deal with. And it's another thing when you go out of your way to actually participate in another regime's, like and the thing that you would call like whitewashing. Like there's ways of doing it through sports, like sports washing, pink washing. There's things like that where they're trying to rehabilitate their image. So they'll do things like this. Hey, get all these people over here. See, we're not so bad. Don't worry about all of our ridiculous laws or ties that we've had to 9/11 or dismembering journalists, stuff like that. Don't worry about any of that stuff. So it's just really weird that Bill Burr, of all people, would agree to do this. Now, apparently he's defended himself. He's come out and spoke about it. I haven't seen or heard anything, but I got these two videos that I have queued up. Won't watch the entirety, just seeing if we can get a little bit of some information that I am lacking from this. So the first thing I have queued up is Too Lazy to Try, which he's actually, this guy is blown up. I remember when he first bursted onto the scenes, man, I was like, oh, look at this guy. And he is like a staple on YouTube right now. It's pretty crazy. So you got that. And then I have a little thing from Kyle Kalinske, which I'll see about that. It has something with David Cross, which big fan of David Cross. He's a very principled comedian. So let's see what Too Lazy to Try has to say.
Beyonce and Mariah Carey actually did private New Year's gigs for a million.
By the way, this is audio from the Monday morning podcast, Bill Burr's podcast from March 28th, 2011. So I'm assuming this is like gonna be a hypocrisy thing, like
New Year's gigs for Gaddafi's kids. Can you fucking believe that? How much fucking money do you need to make?
Muammar Gaddafi, the guy that was the leader of Libya, who got brutally murdered during the Arab Spring. That was some crazy stuff. You could see it, there's footage of it since this was post smartphones and people are starting to get pretty decent cameras. So it was really the first like fully televised like type of like proxy war stuff that was going on. And yeah, there was a lot of people who weren't fond of the Muammar Gaddafi, but it also is sad to see that Libya getting absolutely decimated when the military-industrial complex came in and quote-unquote liberated the people. Same thing that you see happening all over the Middle East. You're
gonna take a gig where you're gonna go dance like a goddamn fucking clown for a mass murderer's kids?
It's so crazy to hear, man. It's like we know Bill Burr is a principled man, and so it is so weird to like hear this.
And then you take that fucking blood money.
Well, I mean, it's weird to hear. He even says blood money because that's what people are calling him things like Billy Blood Money Burr, stuff like that.
He's done.
Billy Bonesaw Burr.
Yeah, you couldn't remember that he claimed he was behind the Pan Am bombings that killed fellow Americans. The fuck is wrong with you?
The Royals love.
That is so crazy. What else are we gonna do? So this is
the show. Everyone was happy. The people that were doing the festival were thrilled. And yeah, it was just
so the podcast the day after he did it. It's football starting performing in the Middle East project. Yeah, so this is right after he performed
this great positive thing, and I got to tell you, just to be a part of that was fucking amazing. And the comedians that I've been talking to just saying like, dude, you can feel it. They wanted it. So it was a mind blowing experience. Definitely top 3 experiences I've ever had.
All right, so after...
That is so crazy. That is so crazy, man. But does he like actually address like the backlash? I wonder. Let's see what Too Lazy has to say.
Years of Bill Burr trashing celebrities for taking blood money and railing against billionaires and ranting about wealth inequality, he decided to go to Saudi Arabia and accept money from the royal family, who are known for using modern slave labor, which he's being paid not to mention and help cover up.
Yep.
When he got back, he only talked about how amazing Saudi Arabia was. So he went from...
It didn't say anything bad whatsoever. Because obviously he probably wouldn't have gotten the bag, and they had stipulations. There are certain things that you couldn't say when it came to performing there. So it's 100% selling out. 100%. There's no other way of looking at it.
Saying billionaires need to be put down like rabid dogs.
Yeah.
To taking money from a trillionaire family.
Imagine saying something like that. Billionaires need to be put down like rabid dogs or whatever. But also being like, oh yeah, the Saudi prince, no problem. Hey, I'm sure he shook hands and met their ambassador, their advisor, what's his name? Turkey Al-Sheikh. Like, I'm sure they're buddy because I've been seeing that dude everywhere because he's leading the sports washing stuff that's going on in Saudi Arabia, and it's just driving me insane. Especially, imagine calling someone His Excellency. Imagine calling a human being that, dude.
That's known for human rights violations and modern slavery and will kill citizens that speak out against them. So I don't think it gets more hypocritical than that. But as we know, obviously money talks, and it turns out Bill will drop his morals and destroy his reputation and credibility for $1.5 million. And now...
That's crazy. Was it really only 1.5? That doesn't even seem... like, obviously that's a ton of money. It's life-changing money. But for him, it's just like... I imagine he's made millions in his latter half of his career, right? I would say since 2010, Bill Burr probably started making millions of dollars. And it's like the Netflix specials that he got, he got tens of millions from those, maybe just 10 million, but that's already generational wealth. I mean, once you get into the threshold of like $5 million, you are set, your family's set. It's just, people always want more. They're so fucking greedy, man.
He's just getting cooked for it.
Let's see that. Look at all these comments.
People are so pissed at him and everyone doing the festival. Like, this has become a pretty big controversy, but out of everyone, Bill was definitely...
Yeah, so let's look at this lineup right here, because this is something that I didn't really pay too much attention to, so I'm not, like... The only ones that surprise me is genuinely Bill Burr, especially because of how open he's been about things. But when I look at all these guys like the Sebastian, he's like, who cares? Yeah, Whitney Cummings, Russell Peters, I felt like he was a principled person, but then again, I don't really know him that well, but he was a comedian that I enjoyed a lot back in the day. Oh, yeah, Kevin Hart, of course he would sell out. Is that Joe Coy? No, that's, it's not Joe Coy. That's, I forgot that idiot's name. He's just another bald comedian that's next to Bill Burr. Carr, of course. He's never been a principled guy, in my opinion. Louis C.K., obviously, he probably needs the bag because he lost so much money when that whole jerking off thing happened. Andrew Solch is the biggest sellout, piece of shit, so I'm not surprised. Chris Tucker probably needs a bag. I'm not surprised that he would sell out. Or he probably doesn't even care about politics in general. Chris DeStefano, whatever. Yeah, everybody else, when I'm looking at all these people, it sucks that Hannibal Buress, because I love Hannibal Buress. I used to like Tom Segura, but like, I actually had a little encounter with him on Instagram that made me lose a lot of respect for him, where we used to chat every once in a while. It was just a very casual thing, And when I got my Twitter account nuked for impersonating Trump after he got kicked off of Twitter, right, because of the January 6th stuff, I was, I asked Tom, I was like, hey, man, could you do me like a favor? Just tell Joe Rogan that I got bounced and I just need his help to get my Twitter account back. And I didn't think it was an unreasonable thing to ask, because it was pretty clear from my, from the note, I would say like my level of like, he was talking to me like we were peers. It was like, we weren't best friends or nothing, but we were casual. Like say, oh, I sent him a picture of one of my followers. This is from my for people that aren't aware. If there's anyone here that happens to be new, like I've been doing YouTube for a very long time. This is a very small, brand new channel. But I was talking to Tom Segura. I was like, hey, look at this guy. This guy that follows me looks exactly like you. And then Tom Segura sent me a picture from back in the day, and it was like an identical thing. Like, we were on that level of chatting. Just, it was like very casual, but it was cool. So just me asking, I was thinking like, oh, he would probably understand that I'm not trying to do some weird thing, and I'm just trying to, because Joe Rogan knows me. Joe Rogan asked me to be on his podcast. We just never, the scheduling never worked. But like, so I told him, I was like, if you could just tell him that, you don't have to send him anything. Just text him or message him the most effortlessly. It would have been less effort than Tom finding that picture that mirrored, that essentially looked like the guy, one of my followers. That probably took longer to find than if you would have just sent Joe that message real fast. And then Joe would have been like, oh yeah, I know Derek. And then and then basically off to the races. You'd help me get my Twitter account back. But because of that, he restricted me. It was like, soft blocking essentially. And I was like, what the why? Like, it's not that I wasn't being demanding. I was just like, hey man, like if you can't, like absolutely no worries. I just thought I would ask. But like that kind of left a sour taste in my mouth. Where I'm like, why would he even do that? Like, why would he just, he didn't need to help me. Like, even if he just left it on red, I would have been like, oh, fair enough. One of my favorite vocalists, I sent him a message when an album, Jesse Leach, their 2019 album came out, and I sent Jesse a congratulations text. He just left it on red. I was like, oh, whatever. Like, he doesn't owe me anything, but what the hell did you restrict my account? That's crazy. It wasn't like I was harassing him. I sent him one message. But that rant aside, I'm just saying. That rant aside.
The most shocking for people. I mean, I don't think anybody is that surprised to see Tom Segura and Andrew Schultz taking the gig.
Right.
So Bill, he's taking the most shit for this, especially because of how hard he's just trashing the ruling class not too long ago. Like, I don't know how.
Yeah, it really, it makes I don't get this at all, dude. But yeah, this is a very long video, probably going through all the stuff. Oh, this is interesting right here. Because I was actually going to get onto a Cal Kalinske video, so I'm wondering if maybe what I'm looking for is in here anyway. Let me see.
Basic common sense and critical thinking, and others have decided to cynically accept money in exchange for whitewashing and BS. At the same time...
Let's see.
I really think he fucked up. This person said, hey, did you know that Bill Burr is going to the Saudi Arabia Comedy Festival? The Riyadh Comedy Festival. And I said, that can't be true. No, that's not true.
Okay, this is like an older one. But let me get to, because there's a newer one where Cal Kalinske is mentioning.
All right, guys. So
he's mentioning David Cross. So I want to see if there's a little bit of interesting information about.
We've been talking a lot about this Riyadh Comedy Festival, this Saudi Arabian Comedy Festival, and how basically everybody who signed up to do it, it's like a who's who of the biggest fucking pathetic sellouts in the comedy world. And unfortunately, a lot of people in the.
I love Kyle, by the way. I just like how blunt he is about everything. We need more of that.
Comedy world partook in this. Bill Burr, I believe he already went and he already did his set. And so for the first time that I've heard, he's breaking his silence on going to Saudi Arabia to do...
Okay, so we might just hear a little bit of that.
Comedy and...
What we already heard.
Get some blood money. And needless to say, this is humiliating. Like, what you're about to hear here is just pathetic. It's almost like he either didn't hear the backlash or he heard it and is pretending not to hear it. And he's just like casually talking about what it was like.
He's definitely pretending not to hear it.
Perform for...
You know how I know that? Because when Kobe Bryant died, because Kobe Bryant died in a helicopter accident. It was a crash, right? And Bill Burr around that time just started to learn how to fly a helicopter. So when that happened, Bill Burr's comments, and even myself, I went in the comment section, I was like, hey, bro, you better stop flying, And then he, on his next podcast, immediately responded to all of the comments about like, guys, like, shut the fuck up. Like y'all saying this stupid shit, come on, like, you're being ridiculous. And we were. Of course we were being ridiculous. We were just traumatized by Kobe Bryant crashing. And we're like, imagine, we can't lose Bill Burr this way. It's like, so people were being completely irrational. So he absolutely reads his comments. He sees stuff every once in a while. And, so I'm sure he's seen all of the backlash. I mean, I just went on Instagram just a little while ago, just to see people, calling him all these hilarious nicknames, because the old Billy. Like when people would write into the Monday Morning Podcast, they would usually give him some sort of like nickname, like, oh, hey, Billy Blue Balls or some shit like that. So now it's all related to this Saudi blood money type thing.
Murderous theocratic dictators who bought him. So here we go. Let's listen and then we'll break it down. Shout out to the Ebb and Flow YouTube channel. Everybody go subscribe to the Ebb and Flow YouTube channel.
I will not.
I'm getting it from his video on it. Here we go.
Let me play that for you.
It was the friendly. Now we're going to Saudi Arabia.
Just kidding. Maybe I'll subscribe.
And Josh is going like, dude, I feel good now. I feel good. And I go, I don't know, man. I'm fucking nervous about this one. This is like, we're in the shit here. Like, they have never had a comedy festival. And, I don't know what's going to happen here. And like, my whole fucking idea of Saudi Arabia is what I've seen like on the news. I literally think I'm going to fucking land, and everybody's going to be screaming, death to America. And they're going to have like fucking machetes and want to like chop.
He didn't fucking think that. What is he doing?
My head off, right? Because this is what I've been fed about that part of the world, right?
He did not think, oh my God, what is happening to Bill Burr? There's no way he thought that. He knows that's propaganda. Bill Burr's smarter than that.
And we're flying over it. It's nothing but like these long roads and sand. It's like nothing. And I'm like, what the fuck? What the fuck did I get myself into? And then
like they didn't scope out the place before. They didn't do any research. It's so fucking stupid.
Land.
Oh my God. I can't believe
And now
this.
here we are, right? And we end up driving into town. It's a city, everything, right? And everybody's just regular. They're dressed different, but they're regular. Like people just shooting.
I cannot believe what I'm hearing.
They said, hey, how you doing? Welcome. We're saying, hey, we're happy to be here. And we're driving around, and then I'm just like going like, I thought this place was going to be like really tense.
Bill, this is what they paid for. Notice how he's trying to
I can't believe it. I can't believe what I'm hearing. I cannot believe what I'm hearing. I want to go to a part. I guess there's a part where David Cross is involved. I'm not fucking. This is so stupid. What's this? Okay, comedian David Cross released a fiery statement on his website condemning the comedians who agreed to perform at Saudi Arabia's Riyadh Comedy Festival. So, Kyle Kalinske, should I have him read it? Let's see.
Cross, the comedian David Cross, because he released a statement on his website. I think Duncan Trussell did too, and the Duncan Trussell thing was some both sides bullshit.
Duncan Trussell is a piece of shit now. He sucks now.
I'm deeply disappointed in this whole gross thing that people I admire with unarguable talent would condone this totalitarian fiefdom for what? A fourth house? A boat? More sneakers?
Yep.
We can never again take seriously anything these comedians complain about unless it's complaining that we don't support enough torture and mass executions of journalists and LGBTQ peace activists here in the States.
Right.
Or that we don't terrorize enough Americans by flying planes into our buildings.
Yep.
I mean, that's it.
That's fire. I love David Cross, man.
You have a funny bit about how you don't like Yankee Candles or airport lounges. Okay, great. But you're cool with murder and or public caning of women who were raped and by having the audacity to be raped were guilty of engaging in adultery. Got any bits on that? These are
oh man, that's fire.
Some of my heroes. Now look, some of you folks don't stand for anything, so you don't have any credibility to lose. Right. But my God, Dave and Louis and Bill and Jim. So that's a Louis C.K., Jim Jeffries, Bill Burr, and Dave Chappelle, I guess.
Oh, I missed that. Oh, man, I missed that Jim Jeffries win. I didn't even say that. Holy crap. That Jim Jeffries going is actually worse than Bill Burr. I don't know how I missed that when I saw the lineup. I totally missed that.
Clearly, you guys don't give a shit about what the rest of us think. But how can any of us take any of you seriously ever again? All of your bitching about cancel culture and freedom of speech and all that shit, done. You don't get to talk about it ever again. By now, we've all seen the contract you had to sign. You're performing for literally the most oppressive regime on earth. They have slaves, for fuck's sake. So this is David.
Damn, that's
David Cross.
That goes so hard, man. I love David Cross. He was he grew on me in my later years growing up. The first time that I ever saw him was just when he was just like, comedic actor doing like the butler in Scary Movie 2, right? No, he wasn't the butler, sorry, but the guy in the wheelchair who was the assistant to Tim Curry. That was I think my first time I ever, and then like, you know, Arrested Development, there was things that, and then like it was just like, I really like this guy, and he's always seemed principled, and he seems very reasonable. I've always liked his stand up. And Jim Jeffries, I liked him way back in the day when he first bursted onto the scenes, but then he kind of got like weird, and he got a shitty show, and he just, I don't know, at a certain point, you know, I guess I kind of forgot that he started to suck, but it's just weird this knowing how principled he was, at least, and then just going, it's crazy. I didn't actually, when I looked at that list, man, I just missed it. Like, I totally missed that list. I don't even, that's so crazy to me. How did I miss that list? Because I saw it, right? We were just looking at it together, and then I just completely didn't see that Jim Jeffries was on it. Where the hell is that thing? Whatever. I'm not gonna find it. I had it queued up, and then I X'd out of it. So, but yeah, that's pretty crazy. I hope that people don't let these people live that down. Like, I hope people don't forget this, right? Like, there's certain ones that are whatever. They sucked anyway. You already knew that they weren't principled, and they're all about getting a bag anyway. Whatever. Who cares? But for people like Bill Burr, people like Jim Jeffries, Louis C.K., I don't know. He's always been kind of, you know, he's just been like whatever to me. Like, I like his comedy, but he's never seemed like a principled person to me, and someone that would have actually cared about geopolitics. But Jim Jeffries, 100%. Bill Burr, obviously you heard it. You heard the clips yourselves. Jim Jeffries, it just has a laundry list of talking about, like, you know, egalitarianism and stuff like this is hilarious. Like, I can't believe that. But yeah, that's crazy, man. It sucks because Bill Burr was one of my favorites. Just to being completely honest, there are certain things, like, I like spending my money in practical ways when it comes to entertainment. And when it comes to like shows and type of events, I always have to weigh, like, all right, does this make sense? Like, say if you go to a comedy show, usually at the club, there's a minimum like meals or drinks and stuff. So then you have to, all right, so I'm paying this person to just tell jokes, and then I have to pay all this money to the club and all this shit. And I end up spending way too much money. And it's like, if I go to, like, say a show, like a concert, like music, they don't have all these minimums and stuff. So I'll usually would like to put my money into something like that than something that's forcing me to feed into the theater itself and shit like that. So that being said, I don't go to very many stand-up comics. I don't see them live very often. I probably can count on my hand how many comedians I've actually seen. I've been to a lot of lower things to support some people, but like on the bigger stuff, like I saw Bill Burr, Joey Diaz. I actually saw Theo Von back in the day. Joe Rogan, just because which was funny. Joe Rogan paid for my ticket, actually, because he didn't pay for my ticket. He paid for my meals because something happened in my truck. I fixed it, and after I filled up my tank, I had almost no money left. And I was like, shit, man, I can't even afford the minimums at the club. So luckily, I texted him, and he was like, oh, just tell them that I got you. And that was weird because I was like, hey, server guy, this may sound weird, but I'm homies with Joe, and he's got my drinks or whatever. It was so fucking stupid. I felt so dumb saying that. But yeah, I'm just saying, like, I haven't seen that many, and it's not like many things are going to change for me. It's like, oh, I'm never going to see these comics again because I wasn't going anyway. That's kind of my point. But if there's like a Bill Burr thing, even if he apologizes, it doesn't mean anything. And then seeing the way that he just like tried to, you know, like, I thought it was going to be some crazy, just barbaric place where they're going to kill us all. No, you didn't. You absolutely, Bill Burr pretending like he's some dumb average American that's from like the sticks or from some rural fucking area. So stupid. I'm shocked. And this is only a fraction of like any of the stuff. I didn't even look into this heavily because I've already heard enough. But that's it, guys, man. Just do me a favor and hit the like button on your way out. I'd appreciate it.